An avalanche during an Antarctic expedition. I desperately saved my wife, but ended up staying behind in the frozen wilderness forever. After the incident, my wife couldn't find me and mistakenly believed I had abandoned her and ran away on my own. She threw herself into another man's arms, crying, "Ernest, if it weren't for you, I would never have survived. I'm going to divorce him and be with you." Later, our expedition was officially recognized by the Guinness World Records. As a result, my wife signed a contract with the Antarctic research team and became their tour guide for the expedition. However, on the way to Antarctica, another avalanche struck. The snow carried out my body, and the truth was exposed. My wife knelt in front of my body and cried uncontrollably, feeling as though her life was worse than death. At the Guinness World Records awards ceremony, I watched as my wife, Amanda Collier, accepted the award with a bitter smile on my face. Our team of 5, with me as the leader, made the record-breaking journey. During the polar night in Antarctica, we trekked across the entire phenomenon of the Antarctic polar night. This achievement filled a gap in human history, earning us recognition from the Guinness World Records. Danger had surrounded us the whole way. But thanks to the route I had planned, we were almost at the finish line. Just as I was about to feel relief, a massive avalanche struck, and I desperately saved Amanda. But I was buried forever in the snow. I thought, now, here I am, only a spirit remains. A reporter at the ceremony asked, "Ms. Collier, you've become a world-renowned female explorer, and many young women look up to you as an idol. Do you have any advice for them?" Amanda smiled at the camera. "When choosing a partner, make sure to be wise. Only in times of crisis do you see true feelings." This trip to Antarctica also made me realize the true nature of my ex-husband. I want to thank Ernest for saving me. I couldn't help but bitterly smile. When Amanda was rescued, she didn't see me. She searched everywhere for me. Ernest Bates, seeing this, added fuel to the fire, claiming I had abandoned her and even showed a video. In the video, it looked like I was running away, and he took credit for saving Amanda. Amanda, furious, filed for divorce as soon as she got home. Now, a year later, she was finally single again. Sensing a chance to stir things up, the reporter asked, "Ms. Collier, we understand you've just completed your divorce proceedings. Do you have no lingering feelings for your ex-husband?" At this, Amanda's expression immediately darkened. "No. And now, I want to use this moment to tell him through your cameras. Walter Fuller, back when the avalanche happened, you abandoned me and ran off. You even hid from me for an entire year. Now that the divorce is finalized, I have nothing to do with you anymore." Hearing this, the viewers in the live stream began to lash out at me. He took H's girlfriend to Antarctica but ran away when things got tough. Disgusting. As the saying goes, when disaster strikes, couple would choose their separate ways. How true this is. The reporter, noticing the spike in online reactions, asked another question. After the avalanche, Mr. Fuller was never seen again. "Ms. Collier, do you think it's possible Mr. Fuller died in Antarctica?" Amanda shook her head. "Not to mention that I have video evidence proving he ran away. He was also wearing a life monitoring device, and I can see that his body is perfectly healthy now." Upon hearing this, I couldn't help but bitterly smile. If Amanda had cared even a little, she would have noticed that I truly disappeared that night, lost forever in the beautiful Antarctic snow. At that moment, Ernest stepped onto the stage and knelt down on one knee in front of everyone. "Amanda, from now on, let me be your husband. I'll protect you in difficult times and walk with you through happiness for the rest of our lives, okay?" The entire room erupted in applause. Seeing this, Amanda nodded fiercely with tears in her eyes. "From the moment you saved me from the avalanche, I knew you were the one I was meant to be with." Immediately after, she and Ernest kissed passionately. As I watched this, my face turned pale, and it felt like my heart had been shattered into 1,000 pieces of glass. After the proposal, the event moved on to the next agenda. This wasn't just the site of the Guinness World Records ceremony. It was also the signing ceremony for Amanda and the Antarctic research team. Afterward, she would lead the team across Antarctica to study the polar night phenomenon and film a documentary about it. The signing went smoothly. A month later, Amanda and Ernest arrived to meet the research team. However, when Amanda saw one of the team members, she frowned. "Victor, what are you doing here?" Victor Donovan sneered, "I'm a research team member, too. Why can't I be here? I'm going to Antarctica to uncover the truth." Amanda, for the whole year, you've been saying that Walter abandoned you when you were in danger. You said he was still alive, but I've waited a whole year for him, and he hasn't shown up. You said he abandoned you and has been avoiding you. But why is he avoiding me? Watching this, I sighed. Victor was my friend, the youngest research member of the Antarctic team. When I went to Antarctica, he asked me to collect some scientific samples. I never expected that I would end up permanently buried in the frozen ground after getting the samples. After my death, the person most concerned about me was Victor. He had come to Amanda several times, asking about my whereabouts. But she always chased him away and even reported him for sexual harassment. It almost cost him his position in the research team. Seeing the situation, Ernest spoke up calmly, Victor, the route Amanda and I took last time was too dangerous. Even we nearly died in the Avalanche. So this time, the route was replanned by me. We won't follow the same path as last time. Hearing this, Victor grew furious. You just want to cover up the truth. Walter must have been killed by you. Amanda responded coldly, you may be the expert in research, but we are the professionals when it comes to outdoor exploration. If Walter had listened to Ernest last time, we wouldn't have faced the avalanche. He was still a beginner, and now look at you. At those words, I felt a rush of anger. Ernest was actually my apprentice. He had only started outdoor exploration a year ago. I would never have taken him along if it weren't for Amanda insisting on bringing him to Antarctica. His proposed route seemed closer and safer, but in reality, it was full of dangers. That path would lead the team through mountains full of snow wolves and across perilous rivers. Any misstep could have resulted in casualties. Meanwhile, the route I had planned was actually quite safe. We never would have faced any issues if not for the unexpected avalanche. Amanda didn't trust my 10 years of outdoor experience but instead believed Ernest, who had just started exploring outdoors a year ago. It was truly laughable. At that moment, David Hayden, the professor of the research team, immediately stepped in and pulled Victor back.